If y'all ain't gonna do shit else, will you please share the videos and like be like, look at these crazy bitches. We like that. We like that too. We need
Here they
to.
go talking they shit. Hey, loves. Welcome back to another Stars and Cards with your girl, Miss Kina Marie.
And I'm Mona.
And today we finna talk about the Mercury retrograde that is going to be hitting. Now we already in the shadow period, so you may already be feeling the effects, but it is from November 25th to December 15th in the sign of Sagittarius, the fiery sign of Sagittarius. Y'all, this is like the final shebang, because this is the final one of the year, the final retrograde of the year. So this is the time to really, okay, what do I need to do? What do I need to get in order? What steps do I need to take so that I can go ahead into this next year ready to pop my shit, ready to get to work, ready to step out on faith, ready to start believing in thyself more, okay? Now, we have the Mercury retrograde is also going to be trining with the Chiron. Okay, now Chiron is all about healing. And so this is definitely a time to heal and release any final shit that needs to be any final. Please know the healing is never done. But
Wrap it the fuck up.
there is some shit that got to be healed this year. It can't go in there. If you still healing over this year shit next year need to be another level of healing. Okay, it's some shit that gotta stay in this year. It cannot go into next year. And this trine energy with Mercury retrograde is definitely going to assist us with releasing, assist us with communicating, assist us with getting that shit off our chest. Then we have it going square with Neptune. So the square in Neptune, it's gonna be some back and forth shit, y'all. It's gonna be real back and forth. I don't really know, not really knowing what you want, not really knowing what you want to let go of. But this is going to it's going to be what you need to be able to pursue and embrace and expand your gifts, your passions, your dreams. Neptune is the planet of spirituality. It is the planet of our dreams. It is the planet of just spiritual growth. Okay, now the Mercury retrograde is in Sagittarius, so this is about expanding. This is about abundance because Jupiter rules Sag. And so if you want to expand and grow, especially go to another level spiritually, baby, you're going to have to let some shit go, and you're going to have to stand firm in your boundaries, okay? Because Neptune is ruled by Pisces. So your boundaries, learning how to pour into self. If your cup empty, you can't pour out to nobody else. You need to fill your cup. Okay? And then the other aspect is we have the retrograde, and it's going conjunction with Saturn.
Mars.
And with Mars. Okay. Now, Mars is the planet of action. Okay, so with this Mercury retrograde going conjunct with the planet of action, this is going to give us the tips and the tools in order to bring those things to life, to come to action. Okay, ain't no sitting around. Now that's Mars is ruled by a fire sign, and Mercury retrograde is in a fire sign. So it's definitely time to get to work. It's definitely time to leave some shit behind. Saturn's also direct in Pisces. So the fire and the water energy here, like, it's time for water to get the flow, and it's time to get the flow, and it's time to bring in action to get that fire under your ass and get things flowing in alignment. It's really beautiful energy, y'all. It really is, but it's a call for action. It's a call for action. It's a call for knowing what the fuck you want. It's a call for leaving what don't serve you in this year. It's a call for applying action. Ain't no more lollygagging. It's
Y'all
time to get
should
to
have been
work.
done lollygagging on January 1st, 2024, but please continue, Kina.
Yes. It's time. It's time to leave shit. It's some shit can't go in 2024. Okay. It just can't. If you ain't learned from the Saturn retrograde, if you ain't learned from all these retrogrades, and it's very vital because the world is shifting. Shit is shifting. And so it's really, especially my light workers, we don't have time to play no more. We don't have time to play no more. It's time to know who you are, know what the fuck you want to do, know how you want to put it out there, and get to work because the world is fucking shifting come January 1st. Okay. Let's go ahead and roll it to Mona and see what's the guidance. What cards is gonna say to us?
I did pull a couple of cards, guys, but I also want to add my astrological 2 cents in as well. Everything Kina said is spot the fuck on. I really wish that we had recorded our powwow prior to us actually hitting record because it was like 15 fucking minutes of nonstop breakdowns of just how impactful and important this retrograde is. Retrograde is always really important. Like people started keying about micro braids and Gatorade and like it's cute, you know, where people think that Mercury retrograde is something that just happens and it comes to ruin your life. No, even with the cards that I pulled, we had the Four of Cups, the fucking Three of Swords, the Magician. Mercury retrograde comes in at a time, and all of the things that you have yet to acknowledge are still creating painful barriers for you mentally, emotionally, financially, spiritually. It will constantly get in your motherfucking face every day. And like Kina said, some of you have already been feeling the effects of Mercury retrograde. I started seeing that shit come out 6 weeks ago. Weird things, small things, simple things, but it's just like if you do this work and you are in tune and like you pay attention to the way that life happens and changes and shifts, you see that what's happening is like, oh shit. You guys can expect more than ever the fuck before. Because in addition to Sagittarius being a fire sign and it being about expansion and growth and things like that, the challenge when we start talking about Sagittarius, and it's also very indicative of just the fucking cards that I pulled, is to figure out how to be free, how to be wild, and how to be comfortable with being who you are and living your life on your terms, but also balancing that shit out with reality and making sure, considering the fact that Saturn just went direct in Pisces, you're not so fucking delusional and you don't have your head so fucking far up your ass that you're not making good, wholesome choices. And then with that trine and Chiron, like Kina said it, but I feel like y'all kind of don't get it. I'm dramatic as a motherfucker. And so let me tell you, friends, get your affairs in orders or your affairs will get you in order. Are we clear? It's like that. For real. And even with magician energy coming out here, you think, oh, we got the Three of Swords. Yeah, that's pain, sadness, sorrow, anxiety, heartbreak, da 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 da. We got the Four of Cups. It's emotional letdowns. It's heartbreak. It's empty cups. When Kina said empty cups, I smirked a little bit because I had just pulled the Four of Cups. And then you have the magician. When you're talking about all of this hidden pain and aggression and sorrow and frustrations and roadblocks, and this is Chiron's energy. This is how Chiron will really challenge you to get your shit together. And we all have that asteroid placed in our charts. So I should pull up. That heaviness mixed with the magic of creativity, mixed with Sagittarius's fieriness and goodness and potential for growth and freedom, if you're not in the right place and you're not paying attention, you're gonna fucking suffer. You're gonna suffer. And I always hate to tell people that, but I also like putting the fire under y'all's tail. I feel like a lot of people do not give the sense of urgency that's required with regular things like stress and You ain't told your boyfriend all fucking year, you know that little motherfucker is this, that, and the third, or you haven't told your mom that you hate it when she mentions your weight every time you see her. You haven't told your boss that you don't fucking feel comfortable working overtime for the 10th fucking week in a row, but it's
Mhm.
mandatory. With the energy and the aspects and the way that the planets are aligning and the fact that we're at the end of the motherfucking year and we're all just tired, period.
Yeah.
Blow ups. Watch yourself, friends. Resolving issues, passions, stress, and even the angel number card that I pulled, which was 1818, was all about willpower. Like I tell people all the time, a lot of people come to me for readings, for guidance, for all types of shit, and they're like, a girl yesterday, I'm looking for the strength and the motivator to love myself and, figure out how to move forward. Are
Mhm.
you sad? Are you suffering? Can you look at yourself in the mirror?
Mhm.
Can you openly communicate things to other people? Can you set boundaries? Like, and if the answer to those things is yes and no, but in the most disheartening ways where like you can't set boundaries, you don't feel comfortable hurting people's feelings by
Mhm.
speaking up for yourself, you're afraid to leave the job that doesn't work for you because what if you don't never get another one? Like if you living in that type of shit, you might as well go ahead and lay down. You might as well go ahead and lay down, be under a rock until December 15th. Because the shit that's happening is either going to force you to fucking, what you be saying, Kina, snap, crackle, and pop, or it's
Yeah.
going to force you to really, really, really pull yourselves the fuck together. It's going to be a
Yeah.
wild time, y'all.
Heavy on the pull yourselves together. Like, and some of us, retrogrades, I usually coast really good through retrogrades, but the
Okay.
retrogrades this year
Different.
didn't come to play. They didn't come to play this year. But especially after the humbleness that I've just experienced with the hurricane we had here, I'm so fucking chilled during this retrograde, baby. Like, it's the sense of humbleness. So now it's like, okay, that humbleness, and with me being a Pisces, don't let this humble, chill energy, especially with Saturn direct, have you lazy when it comes to handling your shit. Saturn is direct in Pisces. Saturn's about responsibilities and limitations. And so if you just sitting there overthinking, sitting there lollygagging and shit,
Letting
no,
your ass.
this retrograde is gonna make your ass get the fuck up. It's gonna make you get up, and it's best for you to get the fuck up because this heavy Jupiter energy with the retrograde is going to support you. The Chiron is going to support you. All they're supporting energy. The only kind of placement that was like was the Neptune going square. And that's Neptune ruled by Pisces going square with Mercury retrograde that is ruling Sagittarius, which is fire. So it's like,
There's a lot of room for you to get swept up in illusions. And
yeah,
depending on
yeah.
how fucking look, I be wanting to call y'all stupid sometimes. And even for me, like I know sometimes I say things and it's just like, damn, bitch, is you approaching me with a Brillo pad or a fucking feather? And that's actually one of the things I teach in my life coaching is
Mhm.
about the difference between Brillo pad communication and feather communication. Sometimes it does give abrasive Brillo pad, but it's just like, did it hurt? Did you feel it? Well, pay attention. It's foolish,
Mhm.
foolish to like Kina said, you're just so all over here. You're in your feelings, you're in your thoughts, you're in your fears, you're in your what ifs. That's a waste of your fucking time. Time's still passing. And like I know y'all heard the way that Kina really played up for y'all the importance of square in Neptune. Saturn has been in retrograde for a long time.
Yeah.
And for it to have gone direct and then Mercury retrograde to start a fuck what 10 days later, all of the promises, like the beauty of Saturn is that it's harsh, it's long standing. She will drag you by your fucking hair. I don't know why people glorify Mercury's retrograde more than they do Saturn and her beautiful energy, but she's a fickle bitch. She will run your ass through some things. But the promise of Saturn is once you've learned your lessons, you will be blessed, and those blessings will expand slowly. Think of this Mercury retrograde as an opportunity to receive the blessings of Saturn. Saturn transits like once a fucking decade. It's like what, every
Yeah.
7, 8 years? It
Yeah.
completes a
Yeah.
full cycle. And so I usually remind people that, like, especially if you're 18, 19, 28, 29, 38, 39, and so on and so forth,
Yeah.
these things become intensified for you a little bit. Do not get swept up in this fake, funky, sparkly ass illusion of, oh, I'm safe at this job that I hate because I'm too scared to do something else.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm gonna trust my mama again. I'm gonna trust my man again. I'm gonna trust my wife again. I'm gonna trust my husband, whoever the fuck, again, despite the fact that they have these long-standing records of that not being a good thing for you.
Yeah.
Because during the 25th to December 15th, you will fuck around and find out. But it's going to be more harsh, especially with it being tried with Chiron. That ain't it. Don't fuck yourselves over, friend. It's time for growth. And like Kina and I had even said before we hit record, the irony of this retrograde and Saturn going direct and it being trine in Chiron and it being square Neptune and it being conjunct Mars and it ending a mere 2 fucking weeks before we close out this year, is this is the final fucking stand. It's your last opportunity to wrap this shit up before we roll into the next year. And I, like, truly, people tell you all the time, you gotta stay dedicated for you. If you can just focus for 6 months and da 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 da. I spent this whole year, and so did Kina, the entire fucking year, working, growing, healing, removing. And we're people who have been doing this for 5 years, 7 years,
Yeah.
like a long time.
Yeah.
The growth that I've seen alone this year in myself and how I've watched Kina grow and my other clients who've really focused on growing this year, the best thing you can do for yourself is wrap this shit the fuck up
Yeah.
and roll into 2025 with your clear goals and your clear expectations and just
Yeah.
rebuild. Don't worry
Yeah.
about tearing shit down. I'm not telling y'all to quit your jobs or close out your leases or anything like that. This is more on a personal standpoint
Yeah.
of what's going on around you, where wrap this shit up, y'all. Wrap this shit up so that when the balls drop and the fireworks are going and all the things on January 1st, you get your ass up and you start living out the life of your dreams one day at a time, but like understand that it takes time.
Yes, and it's very important. Mona has said earlier about balance. It's very important. It's a little bit of heavy Pisces energy we have here that's involved. With Saturn being direct in Pisces, Neptune is ruled by Pisces, and Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter co-rules Pisces. And so that Pisces energy will try to have us in dreamland. So it's very important to, again, not be in an illusional state, to stay grounded. I'm a heavy water sign. It is very important for me to stay grounded. Okay, stay grounded during this time and balance. Don't put too much on you that you can't do. Set reasonable goals. If you set reasonable goals and don't try to overdo it, I have to preach that to myself all the time because I'm always trying to do the absolute fucking most.
And I am forever telling her, you don't need to figure it all out at once. One fucking thing at a time.
I try to do the absolute most. And now I'm realizing, okay, let's focus on this first, flourishing and getting this, and then see how I flow with that for a good 21 days, because it takes 21 days to build a habit, and then try to add something else in. I'm one of those, if I'm not constantly doing stuff, then I start to feel like, okay, because Pisces is known for being lazy, and I have to always, okay, I'm not doing nothing, I feel lazy. You know what I'm saying? That illusional thinking. But baby, what we do is energy. It takes so much energy. And so it's very important to find balance. Make sure you are self-caring. But if you're not doing nothing, if you're not putting in the work, if you're not, all them dreams, they sitting on the back burner, it's time to get the fuck up and get to work. It's time. The world is shifting and changing, and especially us light workers, it's time to get to work. Ain't no more sitting down. If you're still dealing with the same shift from this year into next year, you
should be
clearly didn't
ashamed
take
of
heed.
your fucking
You clearly
self.
didn't take heed at all. Chiron is here to assist you with healing and releasing. Chiron is here to. I'm so happy that Chiron's placement. Chiron kind of showed up this year.
You know, I don't have conflicting feelings about anything. I think everything's great.
Yes.
But Chiron definitely does show up and assist. But you know, Kina, like even for me lately, I've been trying to make sure that I am explaining things to people so that when they see and experience that
Mm-hmm.
what we're expressing, they
Mm-hmm.
understand it. And the way that Chiron really works is when Chiron has come to help you, you
Yes.
gotta understand that it first starts by boop, 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 boop. That doesn't feel great. Boop, 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 boop. That triggered my inner child. Boop, 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 boop. Where it's like a reminder. They're gentle reminders, but
Mm-hmm.
depending on how hard it triggers you, it's not gentle. Y'all be thinking like life be lifing. Life is trying to fucking remind you that you have
Yeah.
yet not figured out everything you need to figure out. And Chiron is pretty solid. Like when you really start to look at things objectively,
Mm-hmm.
like from outside of yourself, that's the importance of that big picture thinking.
Yeah.
And why we keep saying like you have to step back. I always encourage people, even when Kina was going through it with the hurricane and like regrouping and shedding and things of that nature, I was go get you a fucking notebook, go get you a book and just start writing that shit down. Write every fucking thing down so that when you have space and when you have time, you can really step into that empowering side of Chiron and look at what you're feeling, look at what you're saying, look at what you're thinking, and just be like, God damn, I'm sad, or wow, I really am just scared to do this because
Yeah.
this, and this, like noticing your patterns and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
And then one step at a time moving forward.
Yeah.
I love your concept of 21 days. For me this year, I started with implementing one small thing at a time beginning
Mm-hmm.
January 1st. And like I wanted to be a 5 a.m. girly, but I was waking up at like 9 o'clock. And so I started with getting up at 8. And then
Mm-hmm.
once I had been able to get up at 8 for a week or two, I would then get up at 7:30. Then I went from 7:30 to 6:30. And then like it took about 6 weeks. And Kina and
Mm-hmm.
I even talked daily, weekly as I was working through that. After about 6 weeks, I was up at 5 a.m., alarm or not, body just up.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, all right, I want to start recording tarot videos every single day a week, but I know that I can't do all of them. So let me start
Yeah.
here. That continues to build over time. You really do have to slow things down for yourself and create new habits, but also it's for your brain, y'all. I
Mm-hmm.
was just talking to a client yesterday because I wanna get back to my clairvoyant gifts and things of that nature. And when I explained to her, baby, it's daily practices. It's understanding how you work best, what needs to be
Mm-hmm.
engaged free, what do you need to look like, what do your surroundings need to feel like, smell like, all the things like.
Yeah.
And so definitely do use this Mercury retrograde. It's my final thoughts, and I'm gonna let Kina carry us out. Definitely allow this retrograde to learn you some things about yourself. And
Mm-hmm.
then you will learn better ways to heal those things within you because there's nothing broken that needs to be fixed. It needs to be healed. And then better things and habits and friendships and forms of communication and work schedules and things like that that you can implement so that you can move forward and feel better and do better. Don't put too much on yourselves, but also you should be fucking ashamed of yourself if you're still dealing with the same shit.
Yes, please don't put too much on yourself, but definitely get to work. Everything that we need to guide us is in exactly what the placement is. Mercury, Gemini, and Virgo rules Mercury. That is communicating, that is manifesting, that is organization, that is routine, that is structure. Okay, in Sagittarius, about freedom. All of these things can assist you with helping you be free. If you want to be free and you want to heal, you got to do the work. It's not going to come to you easily. This is the last one of the year. Go out with a motherfucking bang. I better see all y'all popping y'all shit next year. Okay. And that's what we got. Okay. Have an amazing Mercury retrograde. We love you guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Follow Stars and Cards on TikTok.
So that's it, y'all. We'll see you next time. Hey, also do us a favor, drop below in the comments what you would like for us to talk about next week, because I don't think we know yet. But
No.
love you.